All right, everyone. This is a question I love to ask. What is the only constant? A lot of you would know this. What's the only constant in life? The only thing we can really depend on, or assume is going to happen. Well, you probably know it by now, and it's change. Change is the only thing we know is going to happen. Everything else is debatable, we're not sure, but change always happens. The difference now is that it's actually happening much faster. Change is accelerating, and breathtaking speed of developments are taking place in the field of AI. And this is having an impact on marketing. So before we dive into how AI is affecting marketing, let's recap how has marketing itself evolved. So in the early days, there was this term called spray and pray in marketing, meaning that you do an advertisement, you can't really track its effectiveness or if it's actually producing they've spent on a marketing campaign and then what's the increase in sale, but they weren't able to really know the details of what's happening. And this is quite common when you see like a billboard advertisement. It's put on a highway, people go back and forth. Some people would be affected by it, they buy because they saw it, but you wouldn't really know who. Similarly, when it came to TV advertisements, people watching TVs, you put some advertisement over there, but you wouldn't be really able to see who is getting, the most affected by that advertising and basically buying the product of that advertisement. So that changed with the rise of Google and social media. We were able to then become much more targeted in our advertisements. With Google search, someone's searching for a piece of information, and then they get these suggested links, which are advertisements at the top. And this way, you're advertising based on aligning the advertisement based on the interests of the person who's doing the search. And this way, you get much more alignment with advertising products and services at the right place where people are searching for them. And when it came to social media, we were basically able to advertise based on behaviors of people. So if people have a certain behavior, certain profile, we know based on what they've interacted with, what they like and what they don't like, then we will feed them with specific advertisements based on what we know about them. And this is where AI initially had a lot of developments in the field of, search advertisement and also this kind of social media advertisement. There's a lot of AI at play. But what's next? Now, AI has gone to the next step of its evolution. So beyond just algorithmic analysis of user behavior, now we're able to generate new content from using AI. And this started with ChatGPT about 2 years ago, where it popularized the language model. So you could generate any kind of textual language-based content quite easily and really, really well done. Beyond that, we moved to generating images, which was the next step of AI's evolution. And that's improved dramatically. We then moved to generating music, and that's also now become at a pretty good state. Then videos. Videos is nearly there. We probably need another couple of months, not more than that, for it to be widely available, very cost effective, and will allow us to then generate video content quite efficiently and really with high quality. The recent developments in AI have to do with something called deep research. And with deep research, what has happened is it has allowed us to feed the generative AI models with a lot of information in one shot. So whereas in the initial, like in the ChatGPT initially came out, you could only feed it with certain amount of what they call context windows. So to give it context about what you're talking about. Now with deep research, you could fill huge amount of context to give the AI a more in-depth view of the topic you're talking about. And most recently, there have been a lot of AI models that have now developed their reasoning capabilities. And this helps them create logic. And with logic, there's a lot of implications on, of course, math and science kind of activities, but also logic in terms of how to think about next steps. And bring all these models together is now the next step, where the big foundational model companies like OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, and others from China, DeepSeek, and the others, they're all now starting to put all of these models under one umbrella. And that's where you're going to start to see a huge amount of power coming out of these models. So when that happens, what happens to our advertisements? Going back to advertisement. In the past, like we said, we could target, in the recent past and up until now, a lot of the advertisements have been targeting the individual by presenting them with a product or service that aligns with their either search or behaviors. But moving forward, what we're gonna be able to do is each company can have a multi-modal content production facility at their fingertips. It's like you could imagine each marketing professional having their own studio that can film the ad, create the content, do the end-to-end cycle of creating content for particular individuals based on their interests, their needs, etc. And we're very close to that today, like I said, with these models as they've expanded. But what's going to be even more impactful, and it's going to happen maybe in the next year, over this coming year, is that we will be able to do this all in real time for each unique customer. So you could imagine that the ads or the content that will be created in advertisement is being created in real time based on the individual's specific behaviors or needs at that particular time, and personalized to serve them the most in the best possible way. This is going to be revolutionary when it comes to AI, and we're starting to see this in many ways happening right now. So, like even in our current, AI models we're working with in potential, we could basically see that there soon won't be a need for a CRM. CRM has been the bedrock of, marketing systems recently. But when you can actually just have a database of the user's information and be able to feed the AI model with the feedback about that user from the interactions they've had in the past, because you have these large context windows. And then you could have the AI create the content based on the interactions with the user that they've had before, and deliver to them something that's relevant to them at this point based on their interests and their needs. That's basically revolutionary when it comes to how AI will help in marketing and rendering advertisements for people moving forward. So that's happening. I mean, we can see a glimpse of it ourselves in the kind of tools we've created. I'll take you through some of these tools, and you're going to see some demos later of some of the tools. And I'll explain a bit further, but this is going to be the big change that's going to happen over the next month, year, I would imagine. So you could imagine you're going to have various iterations of content being delivered in real time to different users based on their interests. So when it comes to people delivering, getting this content relevant to them, you could also automate the next steps, which is actually, if they have any questions, if they want to interact, the AI model can interact with them on it and actually can close the sale. So these are, big shifts that are going to happen in the coming period. And it's good that you start from now aligning your thinking, experimenting, doing different things that sort of make you see this in action. Now, if you've attended any of our sessions, we're talking about 2025 is the year of AI agents, and the AI agents allow you to do a lot of these different things. At the moment, some of them could be, separate engagements or separate tasks that could be done, and I'll show you some of the value chain. But we're tying them all together, and in a couple of months, like I said, you could then have the end-to-end process put together through AI agents. So just to give you a brief, because you're probably hearing a lot about AI agents, a brief about what are they and what makes them different. So AI agents understand the intent of the user based on natural language that we're using. The difference that they have beyond just understanding the intent, like you see when we're interacting with ChatGPT, is that they could also plan through, like we were talking about, these reasoning elements of the model now, plan next steps or plan what could be the actions that they could take. They could also take action based on the understanding and the planning. So they could, for example, create on their own this new piece of content, or do a web search, or record something in a database. So that's the kind of actions that could also take place within the agents. And all of this happens because it's happening in real time. They can continuously improve. So the amount of intelligence that they gain is astronomical, because they could keep on improving with each interaction that's taking place. So this year is going to be the year of agents. You're probably seeing it a lot and hearing it a lot. And we are already using agents across various parts of the marketing life cycle. I'm going to take you through a few examples of agents at work, using some of the tools that in Potential we've developed. So let's say you come up with a new business or a new product or a new program, and you wanna basically perfect the marketing and communications aspects of it, the tone of voice, who are you targeting, what's the ideal pitch, what's the ideal call for action. So we have a marketing AI agent tool that actually walks you through that process. In a lot of our AI work, we want to keep the human in the loop, and that's why we call our AI augmented intelligence, because we want the individual working on this to be guided through the process. So what you'll see here at the top, you're seeing like the different stages. You start with what are you offering, then the AI will create a sample pitch for what you're offering. You'll choose the best pitch that suits your your way or your ideas, and then you can edit that, of course. Then based on the pitch, it will create for you suggestions for possible descriptions of the product or the program or the company, which you could also adjust. Then it will guide you to choose from a set of different call for actions that you can take to bring the metrics or KPIs aligned to this whole product marketing activity. And then it could help you with some sample ads and images that could be created to let you visualize what comes out of it. And then it puts it all in one document that you could then download and share with your teams and move forward. So this is like, if you're starting off with a new product or a new company even, this would be a great way to start. Then let's assume you've launched this great product, you want to create a press release. Similarly, there's a tool that helps you refine what kind of messaging, the main title, the heading, where you're releasing it, and it will create for you a sample press release. Then there's another agent that you could use if you want to do a deep dive on the product marketing. So you've got this product, but you want to see how does it compare to other products in the market. So all you need to do is either put the URL of the product from your website, or you go and you click a description and you upload product information, and then a set of AI agents will go to work researching the web to find similar products, trying to analyze what is the key differentiator that you could have in your product versus the other products, summarizing that, giving recommendations, and then creating for you marketing content that can be used for Twitter, LinkedIn, as you can see at the bottom, different social media, even a YouTube video you can create, email, and Google Ads. So this is a group of agents working together under the supervision of a main agent that helps create this end-to-end, really comprehensive product marketing analysis and outputs. Similarly, let's say you want to create now content marketing for your product. You want to do some white papers or deep dives. Here's another set of AI agents managed by usually you'll have a main manager AI agent working with sub agents that do different tasks. In this case, the main agent assigns roles to the sub agents to go out, search the topic that you're working on, find keywords for SEO optimization that could be used, create first draft, then an editor comes in and revises the first draft into more details, gives feedback, then it's rewritten in a way, and then you end up with up to 3,000 word document, article written covering various aspects of your product, with the details that could be used when you want to publish that content. If you want to publish it straight online, the meta tags, details, and all the details of that for SEO purposes. And it also creates for you the social media items or posts that are extracted from the article, which can be used to redirect back to the article. So that's another set of AI agents working together. So you've created this buzz, people are now visiting your website. Why not have an interactive chatbot on your website that answers any questions about your product or program or company? These chatbots, now we have them, you can set up your chatbot in minutes on your own, doesn't need any coding skills, and you could train it on your website and product information. Really powerful. Every website from now on should have a chatbot on the main website page, but also you could have chatbots on inside pages that are experts in certain product information on that page. So you could have a product expert chatbot on the product page, answering people technical questions, answering the technical questions they may have, or going into a lot of details on particular products. So each product can have its own chatbot trained to answer all the details on that product, and you could feed it with all the information you need. So you could imagine these chatbots now living on different landing pages. It could be linked to social media, where within the social media people can be interacting with a chatbot, and again, easily available in any language across the board. So that's great for websites, chatbots, but some people actually want to talk to agents. So in the past few weeks, we've done a lot of voice-based AI agents that we've created for our clients and our community. These are both inbound and outbound call center kind of agents, AI agents. They talk in real time, nearly as good as a human in terms of the real-time interactive, but much better sometimes than a human when it comes to their knowledge base, because you could feed them with information about the company or the product, and train them in different ways, either to be customer service representatives or to be sales representatives or to be a blend of both. These voice bots can also be linked to telephone numbers, so someone could call a normal telephone number, and then the AI agent voice bot will actually answer that. And this is again a huge improvement when it comes to allowing any company to have now a professional call center operation. All they need is to put a link on the website, and someone could actually call 24/7 an AI agent, or like we said, linking it to a telephone number available 24/7. So every company can now have a professional call center operation up and running in a matter of minutes. So these are huge developments, and we're not talking about these being in the future. This is actually products that we are using now, that our customers are using now, ready to go. And like I said earlier, I encourage everyone to start from now experimenting with these products, trying them out, because the pace of change, as we started off with, is moving so fast. And for you to keep up with these developments, it's good to do these small experiments, start applying AI all through your organization. And this is going to produce great results. This is an output from a BCG report that recently came out, talking about how much improvement and overall performance companies have if they adopt AI. So the leaders in AI adoption have improvements across revenue, innovation, satisfaction, so many different aspects. And because these tools, the AI agentic tools, can be set up quite quickly, and you could see the impact and benefits of them very quickly as well, they encourage you to then, go deeper, and they get everyone involved motivated to do more because they're immediately able to see how they're supporting their work and their operations. So that's it from my side. You're going to see a few demos of some of the tools we discussed, extended and showing you how they work completely. And that's it from my end. I'll see you next week.